Jeep is in some serious trouble. It's getting ugly out there, to say the least. But before we go over just how bad it actually is for Jeep, you need to know how the automotive market as a whole performed last year. Because let's be real, there seems to be a lot of fear mongering lately, especially across social media, with talks about the whole automotive industry collapsing and how terrible sales are and how everything's down, everything's on a downward spiral. So I'm going to give you guys some high level numbers. And if you decide you want a more detailed look in a separate video, I am more than happy to do that as well. With that said, according to the most recent reports this month, new vehicle sales for 2024 in the United States finished out at roughly 16 million, which reflects a 2.2% increase in sales over 2023. It also makes 2024 the best new vehicle sales year since 2019. Automakers like Ford and GM saw over 4% growth. Toyota was up, I believe it was 3.7%. BMW was up 2.5%. Hyundai Kia, they had a record sales year, their best ever. But of course, not every manufacturer saw the exact same success. Jeep sales, for example, dropped by 9%. Selling just 587,725 units, compared to the 642,924 that the company sold in 2023. You don't want to be going down while everyone else is going up. But what makes that number far worse is the downward trend, because 2024 marked the 6th consecutive year of declining sales for Jeep. In 2018, the brand sold 973,000 new vehicles here in the States, which I believe was a record year for them. I think that was their best year ever. That means that they're down roughly 40% from their high, which wouldn't be as big of a deal if we were at least seeing some year-over-year growth and recovery. But this continuing downward trend means that the brand has to make some serious adjustments. If we pull up this chart right here, and compliments to the guys over at CarScoops for putting this together. I didn't make this, so thank you, CarScoops. Now, we're going to start with the good news, because there is some. It's not all doom and gloom. You can see that 3 models in the Jeep lineup saw some positive growth. They were the Wagoneer. That was up an impressive 48%, going from 29,000 sales in 2023 to 43,000 in 2024, and that's a big move. Then we have the Grand Wagoneer, which went up 13%. Still a nice bump, 10,618 to 11,959. And finally, we've got the Compass, up 16%, 96,000 to 111,000. But even with the growth of those models, because of the 3% drop for the Wrangler, 24% drop for the Gladiator, and most importantly, the 12% drop for Grand Cherokee, overall sales continued to decline year over year. Now, the Cherokee and Renegade, those were both discontinued. So those massive drop-offs that you're seeing that look really bad, that's to be expected. The sales that they did get are basically like leftovers that were sitting around on the lot. But I think that rather than those buyers, the Renegade buyers or, the Cherokee buyers, I think that rather than those buyers moving themselves into a different Jeep model, I think personally that Jeep just lost those customers altogether to other brands. Of course, I don't know that for sure. It's speculation. I don't have Jeep's defection rate data or their defection numbers, but that's just my guess. I think vehicles like the new Chevy Trax, for example, really got a hold of those buyers. But we're going to have to wait and see what Jeep does as we enter the first quarter of this year. I'd expect some really, really aggressive offers in order for them to entice buyers to consider purchasing, but we'll just have to wait and see, because right now things are not looking good. But let me know what you guys think.